What is GIS? This is a great question. As a middle school GIS teacher, it is the question I'm asked on a weekly basis. Hopefully, this presentation will provide you with an answer. Perhaps, more appropriately for teachers, however, is the question, how can I use GIS to affect and enhance my instruction? Relevant discussion questions for this module include, what is GIS? Why and how is GIS being used in the social studies classroom? How do you see it as a fit with your classroom curriculum? Perhaps you're already using components of GIS in your instruction. If so, which components? Also, please note that the static non-narrative version of this slide presentation is available for you to further utilize. Essentially, a GIS, or Geographic Information System, is a digital and visual display of spatial data. Spatial data is any data that can be ascribed a location. The locating feature for GIS data is often latitude and longitude, but it can be something as simple as a street address. Here is a spreadsheet of data. This one happens to be generated in Excel, but Google Sheets would work just as well. The data has a spatial tag in the form of latitude and longitude. Often to students and perhaps the uninitiated, it simply looks like a set of numbers. At this point, I like to let my students investigate the data, oftentimes paying particular attention to the column headings. A few will figure out the meaning of this data. More of them are able to figure out the meaning of the data when viewed through a spatial model. This display is simply a set of data shown on the previous slide. So a jumbled spreadsheet of earthquake data becomes clearer when projected through a GIS. Here is a nice technical definition of GIS. As teachers, we have the option to take from GIS any of these facets. Some may only use the display capabilities, others may push further and have students begin to analyze events and draw conclusions based on the data. Whatever you decide, it makes sense to include it in your teaching, because as you will soon see, GIS is pretty much in use everywhere.